Starting route to 12570 Knott Street. Head east on East Wilton Street, then turn left onto Termino Avenue. Turn left onto Termino Avenue. Turn right onto East Pacific Coast Highway.
President of the German Verfassungsschutz, intelligence agency. And he told me that the deathly precision and magnitude of planning would have required years of planning and a fixed frame of a state intelligence organization in order to carry out these crimes. This could not have been done by some college students, in Hamburg. Likewise, this could not have been done by Osama bin Laden in a cave in Afghanistan suffering from kidney disease.
In 700 feet, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto East Los Coyotes Diagonal.
Another man I met was this man, Andreas.
At the roundabout, take the second exit onto East Los Coyotes Diagonal.
This is Mr. Von Buell and I walking down the Rhine River at Remagen. This was taken 10 years after we first met. I went back to visit him again. And what he told me when I first met him in November 2001 is he told me that such operations like this, such a sophisticated operation...
In 1.3 miles, turn right to merge onto San Diego Freeway South.
Crime is committed with the full intention of blaming somebody else. And it's an old Navy term, false flag, meaning somebody else's flag is flying on your staff while you're committing a crime. He told me that there are 3 levels of management of such a crime. There's the architectural level, the managerial level, and the working level. The architectural level, they are committing this crime and fixing it on somebody else, the blame on somebody else, in order to affect public opinion. For example, in this case, they wanted to affect American public opinion to get us to be willing to go to war in the Middle East on a long-term basis, which is where we are now. They succeeded in doing that. The managerial level, they are the ones who manage the working level. They manage the people who are going to take the blame. In this case, for example, the 19 Arabs, they're the working level, and they're part of the deception. The managerial level are the people who kind of control those 19 people, or control our perception of what those 19 people did and who they are.
In half a mile, turn right to merge onto San Diego Freeway South.
Isn't that nice? He also said that journalists even raise the simplest questions. Journalists who don't even raise the simplest questions. Those who differ are labeled as crazy. Now, here's the 19 Arabs, the 19 hijackers, 15 of whom lived in Florida. Most of them lived in Hollywood, Florida. And what's interesting about this is that...
Turn right to merge onto San Diego Freeway South.
All of them had duplicate licenses issued in their names, or they had claimed that they had lost their passport. And when you read the details about this, these guys would go for a license in the DMV in Florida. They'd get the license, they'd go home, and the next day somebody else would call up and say, I'm Muhammad Atta, and I have moved to a new address. I need a new license with my new address on it. And they sent them in the mail. So then what you had is you had 2 people with the same name on the ID in 2 different places. So what you have is somebody leaving a false trail on somebody else's name.
In 5 miles, take exit 21 on the right onto CA 22 east toward Garden Grove.
Wrote it in 1982. He wrote it with the help of the Israeli Mossad and senior chiefs of Israeli military intelligence, which he says in the very beginning of the book. And they made a movie out of it with Diane Keaton. And one of the big Mossad guys says in the book, he says, terror is theater. Theater's a con trick. Do you know what that means? Con trick? Been deceived. And you should keep that in mind, because almost all the terrorism that we see happening in this country today, from San Bernardino to plays out in Connecticut, all of it is mostly theater. It's not genuine. It's theater. wrote 3 years after 9/11 in an article, in an editorial entitled "The Public Knowledge of 9/11." The first sentence says it all. They said, in the 3 years since 9/11, we've begun to understand that it's possible to know what happened without knowing what happened. That's the logic of the New York Times. Now, the New York Times is, to understand, it's owned, a family-owned paper. It's owned by the Sulzberger Ox family. And the Sulzberger Ox family are one of the founding families of the B'nai B'rith Lodge Number 1 in New York. So, B'nai B'rith is a Masonic organization to which only Jewish men can belong if they're Zionist. Non-Zionists are not welcome. So, if 9/11 is a deception, as I will try to show you in this presentation tonight, what is the war on terror? Can it be any more authentic than the fraud that began it? Where did this war on terror come from? Well, the war on terror is a Zionist Israeli fraud based on lies and deception and exaggeration, as it was when it was first pushed by Benjamin Netanyahu in the late 1970s. The war on terror is essentially a Zionist origin to be fought by the United States and others. Here's Mr. Netanyahu.
In 2 miles, take exit 21 on the right onto CA 22 east toward Garden Grove.
In 1979, he went back, and he and his father created this organization called the Netanyahu Institute on Terrorism. And it was named after his brother who was killed in Temple. And this is Mr. Netanyahu on 9/11. He was interviewed by the New York Times, and he was asked, how will this affect U.S.-Israeli relations? And he said, it's very good. He said, it will generate immediate sympathy. Now you have to ask yourself, what kind of person would say, in a catastrophe in which 3,000 people were killed, that it's very good? It's very good. It just doesn't make sense. It's a contradiction. How can you think such a thing? A couple of years later, speaking in Hebrew in Israel at Bar Ilan University, he said, we are benefiting from one thing, meaning the Israeli audience he was speaking to. We are benefiting from one thing, and that is the attack on the Twin Towers, and Pentagon, and the American struggle in Iraq. Those are 3 things. But in his mind, they're one thing. I should point out, it's important to understand that Mr. Netanyahu is the chairman of the Likud coalition and has been the chairman since 1993. I'll come back to the Likud in a minute. Also on September 11th, here we have Israel's most decorated soldier and former Prime Minister, Ehud Barak. And he was
Take exit 21 on the right onto CA 22 east toward Garden Grove.
Television network in the world. It's broadcast from Pakistan to South Africa, all around the world. And he said,
In 2.1 miles, take exit 7 toward Golden West Street and Knott Street.
the world will never be the same from today on. We know who's behind this, he said. It's Bin Laden, basically, he said. And he said, it's now time for the United States to launch an operational, concrete war against terror. So, war against terror is an Israeli construct. 9/11 happens, and suddenly the Israelis are telling us, there you go, now it's time, let's go to war. Well, what is the relationship between Mr. Barak and Mr. Netanyahu? Mr. Netanyahu is the one who's been pushing this for years in his books and articles and speeches. He's been pushing it since 1979. That's been his career as Netanyahu. Mr. Barak was his commanding officer in the Sayeret Matkal. The Sayeret Matkal is an independent covert force that serves directly under the Israeli Chief of Staff and military intelligence. Independent meaning that it's not part of the usual army. It does its own things and only takes orders from the Chief of Staff. This man was Israel's Chief of Staff at the time. He's an Iranian-born man. His name is Shalom Mofaz. And here he is at the Pentagon in January 2002.
Take exit 7 toward Golden West Street and Knott Street, then turn left onto Garden Grove Boulevard toward Knott Street. Turn left onto Garden Grove Boulevard toward Knott Street, then turn left onto Knott Street. In 3/4 of a mile, take exit 8 onto Beach Boulevard. Turn left onto Knott Street. In half a mile, the destination is on your right, 12570 Knott Street. The destination is on your right, 12570 Knott Street. Arrived.